I got into four-wheel driving in the 90s. Not long after leaving school, I bought a Hilux, single cab Hilux, and my girlfriend back then, who's now my wife, we decided we'd do a trip around Australia. So studied after school, got the Hilux, packed it up, it was basic as, and we took off for a year around Australia. And that was kind of, for me, cementing my future and where I wanted to go with my career in the four-wheel drive industry. So obviously did that, awesome year, best thing I ever did. Came back and worked in auto parts stores for a couple of years, or more than a couple of years. But always had that four-wheel drive passion in the background. So although I was selling auto parts, I wanted to get into that four-wheel drive industry. So I actually had an opportunity to start my own business. A key distributor in the market was looking for someone, and I put everything on the line, the mortgage, and started my own business, and was lucky enough to be successful for about 7 or 8 years in that business, which is primarily selling suspension accessories, but we're servicing the retail public, some mining customers, some big industrial customers as well, which is pretty cool. Doing a bit of custom work as well, so obviously being a bit younger back then, I was doing a lot of custom work, building some pretty cool four-wheel drives. I've lost count how many cars I've had, it's out of control. But it was a lot of fun, and it actually helped me learn. So not only was I selling stuff, but I actually preferred to be out in the workshop, building things and putting things together and using my hands, so that was pretty cool. I sold that business to take an opportunity to move to Cape York. So I managed to land a job up there in Weipa, and spent 2 years in the mining industry, basically maintaining four-wheel drive fleets and some of the big yellow trucks and all the other sort of mining machinery and stuff, which was pretty cool. What I loved about it was every afternoon, every weekend, jump in the four-wheel drive, go fishing, jump on the quad bike, go out in the bush. It was a really cool lifestyle. But again, it was just another stepping stone for me to really try and get closer to bringing something of purpose to the market, which was DriveTech 4x4. An opportunity came to move back to Sydney, which I was a bit sort of bummed about. It's a shame I had to move back to Sydney rather than living up in Weipa, but yeah, so I moved back to Sydney to take this opportunity to work with a small business back then who had the foundations of something really cool. So they had a four-wheel drive business selling mainly hard parts, like gearbox parts and diff parts, but I saw the opportunity and the potential to really turn it into something big. I gave up a lot to get into this because I did see what the potential could be to not only build a really strong hard parts business, but eventually build something that would cater to every four-wheel driver having suspension and accessories as well. Started out with a small team. We're doing drivetrain components, gearbox, diff components, basically everything around the gearbox and diff, the drivetrain. We slowly started to spread out to the axles, and then eventually into the steering components, up into the suspension, and things just sort of progressed from there. We employed quite a lot of staff, started to expand from original Brisbane location to right around Australia. And one of the key things we did was work with independent four-wheel drive resellers. So rather than go after the big chains, we actually worked with independent four-wheel drive shops who were looking for a brand and a range of product that could not only be utilised to repair cars in the workshop during the week, but get them kitted out with accessories and suspension stuff ready for their weekend travels and so on. DriveTech 4x4 really started from humble beginnings, probably originally from a team of about 5 people in one location in Brisbane. Today we've got 6 locations, but we've got probably around about 150 people in the business today. We've got specialised product managers, we've got warehouse teams who are receiving and picking and kitting. Kitting's a big part of what we do. We've got salespeople out in the market who are helping to support our distribution network. We've got marketing people involved helping us with our social media and Facebook page and all those sorts of things. So it has really come from a small business to something that is continuing to grow today. So I think with the heritage of DriveTech 4x4 going back almost 20 years, you'd actually be surprised how many of our parts are on vehicles in the market today. And most people don't even know about it, whether it's a wheel bearing kit or a swivel housing kit, or their gearbox has been overhauled by one of our overhaul kits. We'll continue to build that heritage going into the future in the next 10 or 20 years with newer vehicles as well. We'll always cater for the older vehicles. We're now catering for the newer vehicles. But the exciting thing too is you're going to see more of the brand on products on the outside of the car as well, whether it's suspension, bull bars, roof racks, you name it, we're going to be there.